Finally, we have George. He's the chef here at Phoebe's Place.
Okay.
And Art Cafe here in Teaneck. Let's just tell people about Phoebe's Place and Art Cafe is in commemoration for Phoebe Snow, artist. But we're doing it up right now live, poetry open mic here, 445 Cedar Lane in Teaneck, New Jersey. All right, and we have the chef here, George. I mean, he puts things down on the table that would make the devil turn sides and make him go back to being good.
So he's another person that has no respect for the waistline.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing good.
Great. Glad you could join the conversation. I know you're busy, so we appreciate the fact that you're taking out a couple of minutes just to have a conversation with us about the life and the lifestyle of the hip-hop artist. We have these conversations in hip-hop every week, and we talk to artists and writers and people in various forms of the business. And so tonight, I don't know if you heard any of the conversation I had with the young man earlier, but we're talking about what kind of lessons do the hip-hop artists, male and female, learn about love and about intimacy and about child rearing if, for so many of them, there was no father figure in the household. Where did they learn how to be men, and where did they learn how to be good fathers? Who were them? Who were their role models? Is the question.
I personally think, as their love for hip hop, they followed in the footsteps of their role models growing up. Like, let's say Jay-Z, he probably looked up to Jaz-O, and a lot of people confuse hip hop for misleading young people, but a lot of the times they say that a lot of them point out that good parenting is key, So
it is. It absolutely is. And not only that, what we are seeing today and that's being called hip-hop is not what hip-hop was.
Exactly. Hip-hop was never, it's very malicious now.
Yeah, it's a different, and what we're looking at is anger. I'm looking at so much rage, and that anger and rage, I think, comes from the fact that these individuals have issues around how they grew up.
And the lyrics, the lyrics just aren't potent anymore.
No. And the lyrics are not instructive anymore. They're just spewing all this rage and anger and this misogyny. I mean, you have a Rick Ross who talks about giving a woman drugs and once she becomes unconscious, raping her. I mean, what kind of role model is he? And there was an outcry in the community among women, and women signed petitions, and Reebok dropped him. And so the question is, what do we do in our community about the disrespectful language and the disrespectful images of women and how it influences our children? What do we as a community do about it?
Honestly, I think we could just have meetings or whatnot and just try to help out the community and as a community. But I don't think anyone can ever stop what's going on in hip-hop as of now. It's going to take a very long time for it to go back to what it used to be because I think it's more than just the rappers itself. I think it's the people behind the rappers that are enforcing this type of language and this type of behavior. In other words, you're telling them to dumb it down,
Well, what's happening is they're paying the younger, and some of the rappers are not so young. We need to think about that too. But they pay us to still be jigaboos and Flavor Flavs and those of us that are not accustomed to anything, that grew up in environments where they had nothing and where there's not a sense of consciousness. I think those are the individuals that more than likely are able to be influenced that way.
Yeah, and what I see is I grew up listening to Jay-Z, and Jay-Z went from being a very lyrical guy to corporate Carter now, So it goes to show that he had to do it for the amount of money he's gonna make off of it, he said it in one of his verses. I dumbed it down just to double my dollars, so talent goes away and money takes over at one point, you know? That's the way I see it.
That's the dilemma. Well, will there ever be a resolution to this? As long as money will dictate and can buy people's self-respect, it can buy, how you have the world look at your women and your children. I mean, that's a sad commentary.
Yeah, but we have some rappers that did not sell themselves, and
True.
We have rappers like Talib Kweli, Lupe Fiasco, Nas, Q-Tip.
Unfortunately, though, those are not the ones that most people know about.
Exactly, but that's how it works, I guess that's to say, but it's life.
Yeah. But we can't just say it's just life. I mean, if I remember back in the 50s and in the 60s, if people like me had said, "Hey, it's just life," we'd still be riding the back of the bus and wouldn't be able to vote.
I like that. That's very true.
Yeah, I grew up in Raleigh, North Carolina during the height of the civil rights. Segregation, and I know. I remember when we couldn't use the same bathrooms that white people could, but we were a different breed of people, and we couldn't be bought and we couldn't be bossed. We had a level of self-respect that wouldn't allow us to continue to be treated a certain way. We wouldn't spend our money in stores that disrespected us. We would walk rather than ride a bus and ride in the back of the bus. We walked. So that type of mentality doesn't seem to exist today. And
no, at all.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm convinced it's going to be a very hard task, because me, myself, I have the mentality you have. I buy music that actually has substance instead of buying music that is sold. It's sold, they're sold into something, which it has no substance.
Right.
But all we could do is just try to do speeches and whatnot and hope that things will change,
Well, we're talking about, with you, GMAG, we're talking about doing something like another hip-hop summit. And so people that are interested in the conversation that we're having are taking part in that and signing up to be a part of that. So if you would like, you can, if you want to know more about it, you can stay in communication with us. And when we put it together, if you want to be a part of it, you can. If not, you can just attend. But we plan to do more than just take it laying down. I mean, we have to be responsible for our children in our community. We have to be responsible.
Yeah, I like your mentality. No, I'll definitely be a part of it. Well, I have a couple customers coming in. It was great speaking to you.
Go ahead. So make sure you give your information to Andre, and then I'll send you an email, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Leave your email address, and I'll send you an email with my information.
All right, perfect. It was a pleasure speaking to you. I love the conversation.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put him back on 1 second.
All right. Any more people out there on this call? Okay. Getting things set up.
Yeah. All right, Bonnie.
All right. We're set up again?
Yeah. What I was going to do was I was going to get Mr. Tungay. He's the one who taught Gil Noble everything he knows at ABC. And he was part of ABC's original team. An original news team or journalist for ABC for years. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have him get on and speak to you.
All right.
All right, hold on for one moment. Pardon me. All right, here you go, Mr. Tungay.
Hello.
Man, you can stick.
Hello?
Yes,
that's Bonnie. That's our spiritual coach. It's the radio show. She's the radio show.
Oh, yes. My name is Yaka Tungay.
I'm the Golden Black Prince of Harlem. I'm a producer, director, and I'm a broadcaster also with television. You put me off guard there, so I don't have it all. Huh?
I said, well, then you're my neighbor. I live in Harlem, in Central Harlem.
Yeah. Well, I've been out in Teaneck. Well, Harlem never sleeps. I live in Teaneck now. I've been in Teaneck about 20 years or so.
Okay.
You know, Harlem, the streets, I was always out in the streets, so I shot a film for the Museum of Natural History, another film for the Michigan Museum of Art, and I said, bye, baby, but I love you, Maddie. I'm in Harlem every day when I get off. Harlem never sleeps, and I love it, and that's where I got most of my education from. You know?
This is a place that a lot of people...
Try and have dinner or something with us, okay?
I would love to. I just have to get over there. I have some friends that live on Cornwallis in Teaneck over there, Avenue, and I used to teach at Fairleigh Dickinson, and I remember Teaneck Road and some of those areas that I just heard a mention of where the restaurant is located. So I would like to come out one day.
Yeah, I shot a film for the Museum of Natural History, another film for the Michigan Museum of Art, and I said, you know, I had to clean that drugs up too, you know. I had to clean that drugs up here. Harlem was filthy with that. And I bought a house out here, and you know, I was still in Harlem anyways, you know. Yeah, I come out to African National Finance Moon. We used to lecture out there on 25th Street from the diamond store, you know.
Oh, I remember. I've been out. I was out there myself for years and years and years. Involved. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was involved in the first, what we called the African Liberation Day Parade, that became Harlem Week. And just every time I think about it, I just want to throw up.
I got, you know, I grew up there at Carlos Cooks of the African National Pioneer Movement.
That's right.
That was my granddaddy.
And then there was G2 Wiusi over in Brooklyn.
Dr. Ben, we were in Africa together.
Dr. Ben and Dr. John Henry Clark, Lynn Jeffries. As a matter of fact, myself and some other students brought Lynn Jeffries to City College. We demanded that they have him there.
I've probably seen you before. I had to see you if you're down with that.
I was known as Sister Ama during those days.
I know you. I'm Shaka Tongue. You don't know Shaka Tongue?
I'm sure I do. I have to, but see, my problem is not ever remembering people's names. I don't remember people's names. What I do is I remember faces.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, not you.
Yeah. I had to get out of Harlem because I had to clean that drug scene out, you know. And I shot a film for the Museum of Natural History, another film from the Michigan Museum of Art. And I left, you know, but I'm in Harlem. My sister owns a Touch of Deeds on 43rd Street and Lenox Avenue. The bar
She owns what?
Huh?
You say she owns what?
On Lenox Avenue, a Touch of Deeds, 143rd Street and Lenox Avenue.
A Touch of D. That's a bar, isn't it?
It's a bar, yes.
Yeah. I remember that. I know that bar.
That's my sister. That's my sister's place. And we owned we sold hot dogs in the block. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm a real Harlem guy.
Those days. Those were the days, I tell you.
I did from Park Palace all the way up to Rockland Palace.
Well, what we were talking about tonight, since because this would be something that you would probably be interested in having a comment. We're talking about the fact that when we look at the lives of most of the hip hop artists, what we're looking at is young men and women that did not have consistent fathers in the household, for example. And so when we look at hip hop as it's presented today, and we look at the quality of the music, we look at the lyrics, we look at the imagery of women, the question becomes one of then what does that say about the relationships that hip-hop artists have with their children and with the women in their lives or the men in their lives? Because it's not just men that are out here rapping, women are rapping too. And
we always worked as a team. We didn't look at it as a team thing. We just put it out all our major instances and did it. No?
Okay.
That was how theater was involved too.
I can't hear you. Something's going on in the background.
Got the buses passing by. But listen, we're going to set up a thing where we can sit down in here or come to my place. I'm not too far from where we are now.
Okay.
I'm over there. I'm over by the golf course. You You say you.
Well, what I'll do is I will have Andre to give me the information, and we'll just make arrangements to just continue this conversation at a time that works better.
We want to do some documentaries and all that. It don't have to be no big things, but just put some little into this cultural events that our people feel.
Sure, there's a lot we can do. There's so much we can do. So let's get my email address from Andre.
Yeah,
and then send me your email information, and we can start communicating that way.
I'd love it so much. Okay.
Also,
thank you so much.
So, Professor Tonga, we want to get your opinions on how the children are affected from having parents in the entertainment business not being there. How does that affect the child? How do you feel as though that affects the child, the youth?
Well, that's part of our culture. That's part of our history. It affects the child because the child doesn't really know. And I grew up in the Power Theater. That's where my culture comes from. I saw the junkies out in the street. I had to clean that up too, with prostitution and all that kind of stuff. As I come out the African National Pioneer Movement, that was we had our headquarters at 315 Lenox Avenue. And Carlos Cooks was an extension of Marcus Garvey. Used to talk on the ladder, buy black, with the red, black, and green flag.
I remember those days. I still have my pen. I still have my red, black, and green African Liberation.
I probably know you.
You have to know me because I was out there doing too much stuff. I mean, yeah, we'd have to know each other. And Brother Manawa Kenyati, I don't know if you remember him.
Which one? Which Kenyatta?
I can't hear you.
Yes, which Kenyatta? Which Kenyatta?
Manawa Kenyati. He was a professor at City College, and he was arrested when he went to Kenya, and they kept him in prison until he almost went blind.
Listen, we're gonna
we have to have more conversations. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do some other things and update stuff. Okay.
But how did the children? I mean, how were the children educated if their parents weren't there? The children from Legends.
Well, that was a personal thing. They did that in the house. There was a few of us that taught our kids all the time. That's why my son is absent. You know, but they got the first. You know, like that. That's different. I got to go in there at different time. I can't do it now. Because it's too heavy. I don't want to mess with it and fuck it up.
You ain't going to mess anything up. You ain't going to mess anything up at all. You're one of the elders right now, one of our legends.
I made 74.
Wow, congratulations. Hold on. And say that to the listeners.
I made 74 the other day. I was born February 1st, 1937. I was born African national. Everything
Fantastic.
I live 152 Lenox Avenue. They had to tear my house down. Now, just about 3 blocks. They had the street speaker across the street for Muhammad Ali. Elisha Muhammad, and the temple was on 116th Street. So I was right in the midst of all of that.
Well, you know, I passed by the African National Bookstore, and it's all torn down. And that's
that's where the nearest state building is. That's where we
not there. No. 100 Lenox Avenue and 130th Street.
On 37th Street, 38th Street, up in there.
No,
a black woman.
Not that
a
far
black
up.
woman. Well, a black woman in that big store. That's the only bookstore was up in that area.
And it's such a sad thing.
We're on the same page, you know.
Brother,
so I'm dying to meet. Okay, the brother's going to hook it up.
We'll make sure that we do that. Thanks for at least getting into the conversation. Thank you.
All right, fine. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone else just joined our room. I want to thank Mr. Tungay for sharing that valuable piece of our story with us.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, someone else just joined the room, Bonnie.
Well, welcome. Who's out there tonight? Hello?
KD just joined the room.
Who?
This KD just joining the room.
KD, welcome. How's it going with you tonight?
Going fine. It's going great.
Going fine?
Yes.
I'm glad you were able to check in tonight with us.
Thank you.
Have you had a chance have you been listening to any of the conversation?
Oh, I just got in on the last end of the conversation, really.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we were talking about what kind of mentoring and what kind of images have our younger people been exposed to that prepares them for motherhood and fatherhood in a way that allows them to represent positive images for their children, number one. And number two, if the lyrics that rappers use looked at as okay, and they're in relationships with men and women, then how does that language get translated into "I respect this woman I'm with," "I respect this man I'm with"? That sounds like a contradiction. So
yeah, I mean, to me, it's just when I was growing up, I was limited to certain things. See, kids, they got access to all kinds of different things, all different type of technology, and it's just like how your mom, she will lead you in a direction where you got the ins and outs of the world. You got you got all the supernatural. You got all. She just give you knowledge, about the land, about Earth. That's that's the saying, down to earth. People that like old folks that can go out there in the woods and find medicine to cure your sicknesses.
Yes.
All that part of the culture has went away. Now you got people that claiming they know this, our culture. They're not giving it to the kids right, because it starts at the home first. I mean, it's more people beating on the brothers about all these, about different things about what they do, but it goes across the board. It goes to women too, because sometimes women teach their daughters how to shake their butt in front of cameras. They see their mom doing that, so it's all a game. See, we only adopt a game from white folks and what they give us, So that was going way back in the slavery days, when you when you had that black woman with that big butt, and these guys just throwing money, that's the only way you can get that girl if you have money. Was a lot of these brothers being entrapped, enslaved by that, by the lust. Then when they get a woman like that, to me, because I also think about a lot of things. When they get a woman like that, they try to hold on to the woman, and so it becomes a cycle where you having kids. And you really not at the certain level that you need to be when you having these kids. You're not being at a certain level of life. It's just like a premature baby. We premature to life. Far as like it takes us a while to grow up because we never had that ability to grow up. So that's why a lot of black folks now that they got the mind that they have, as far as like not really understanding the life, not not understanding the agriculture of life, how to survive, because we're not learning these stuff in school, we're not learning these stuff at home. So it's a lot of stuff our kids could be learning, could be doing to be to be helpful for their community. Not only just besides just trying to learn stuff, because it's all if you never have hands on hands, you try to learn something, you're gonna be learning, then your mind can go somewhere. You start learning something that you don't have no business learning, like learning how to build a bomb, So it's just got to have kids more on a hands-on hands type of constructive work, and it all starts from the home, So that's my outtake of of this life in general. We learn from the white people. We learn, they teach us. They teach our society that it takes money to get women. That's why you got these women, enhancing themselves and bigger breasts, bigger butts, or whatever. You know, and then when they go to the club, I mean, you expect them to respect a brother when they go to the club. I'm not saying all women, but you have the type of women you go to the club, they all jazz. You be like, what's up, how you doing? And then she just give you just a nasty, well, how can you expect for somebody to respect you and you not, I'm saying, I mean.
I do understand exactly what you're saying,
so
and that's why initially I said that it's not just about the young men, and some of them are not so young, but it's also you have women rappers, and you have women that follow that whole lifestyle, and whose idea about surviving and getting money and moving up the ladder is all about selling sex, and it's a sad commentary because it's true what you're saying. So many of these young women learn these lessons from their mothers, who themselves are, misguided, because you've got this generation of these young people who just didn't get the kind of what we used to call home training.
Yeah.
That was very real. Home training was something very real back in the day. And that's what made the difference. And when I was in school, I remember taking one of my psych courses. It talked about the roles of mothers and fathers, and it seems that the mother's role, one of her primary roles, is to teach the children how to survive in society, and the father's role is to teach the boys and the girls how to be men and women. So a young woman learns how to be a woman from observing how her father relates to her mother.
Or that, or just being some being in the single home, some being turned out by peers and stuff, because it's only a few type of people that that's really out there that's really making money. You know what I'm saying? And then they got to do a lot to get to where they at. So like if you got somebody, you got a guy balling, you might have one or two guys in your city balling, really balling. And then when they learn the game, when they fully learn the game, it's like a disease. They see somebody, young kids growing up, seeing seeing how they get it on, by, whatever they do, making money, spurging on women. So I mean, you always got that upper scale, like you got the. You got the Ford, then you go, you got the Chevy, then everybody wants a Cadillac, so, Cadillac is expensive, you got to have credentials, you got to have money to get the Cadillac, so that's just how it is, it's the same with women, you see a woman out in the street, you can tell, what it takes to get her, and it's all a game,
But it's a dangerous game, and it's a sad game, and it's a game that keeps repeating. The message keeps getting repeated, and for us, it's bad news because we're the ones that are rearing children that can't read, can't make complete sentences, who think that ebonics is what we need to be speaking. So when they go, they don't even know how to fill out an application for a job. Then the young men typically, there was this thing about, well, why is it that you have all these black women that got jobs, but the young men don't have jobs? And the big issue is they can't pass the P test. When they go for the jobs and they have to do a urine test, they can't pass it.
It's a disease.
It's pathetic. I mean, because they're going to smoke weed and they actually think that they can just it's easy to drink some vinegar or do whatever you want to do, and then you're going to pass the test. Well, it doesn't work like that.
No, but then you do stuff in moderation. We as African Americans, we don't even know our own culture. We don't even know. We don't even know exactly what's made for us. All we going by is what we see and how we figure what's good and what's supposed to be done just because they doing it. You know what I'm saying? We come from a different cloth. We come from a different bloodline.
Yes.
You go to Africa and you see how they get down. Sometimes I watch clips where some people they just lose it, just go and they can see people walk around in traffic and they just go right straight through them. You know what I'm saying? Don't care who they kill. Sometimes Well, I mean, just point blank. I mean, we're most of us has got to be honest with ourselves. We're not, set to listen to that type of or be in that type of situation where we got to learn from those type of people. From different people, we got our own history that we need to learn from.
Yes,
so,
that's true. But sometimes in order to learn the history, some people won't learn because they can't read. And a lot of, they used to have this sad statement, if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. That was not a joke. That was not funny to me. But it's so true that, so many of us don't read, didn't learn how to read. And so that means that whatever we get has to be interpreted for us by someone else who might or might not be giving us the truth of the matter.
Well, everybody plagues themselves, I mean, everybody plagues themselves. I mean, we look down on ourselves, and that's the most important thing of them all. Stop looking down on ourselves as people.
Yeah, well, that's called self-esteem, and we have all of the history to show us why our self-esteem would be down to the bottom of the barrel. But we can't continue to use that as an excuse.
No. But a lot of folks a lot of races got their own objective, their own type of weakness.
Everyone does. Every group does.
While we talking down our weakness, we need to try to get together and try to uplift our weaknesses, because it all goes. We always contradict ourselves, point blank, because there's always somebody in our family that goes along with the conversation. In every black family.
And then you know what? It's like that in all groups, but I think we see more in ours because we're around more black people than we are anybody else. But there's work that we have to do, and when I think about our history, I think we're doing well because it takes 3 generations for a culture to change. That's 75 years. And we've only been allowed to read legally in this country, less than 100 years.
That's because we set back.
Less than 100 years. So if you couldn't read and write in a language because you came from someplace else and you were forced to not even speak your language or anything about your culture, and were forced to learn another culture that was foreign to you, that's the people that will be lost, and we are lost. The thing as a group, now, when you look at individuals and you look at all the strides we've made, I mean, I understand why people will want to keep us down, because we are phenomenal. We are phenomenal. Correct. Yeah. And I think that there is something we can do. We can continue to have dialogue. Ugmagonline, that magazine is going to have a lot of we're going to take these conversations and we'll print them into the magazine so people that are reading the magazine and we're not in on the conversations, can have access to the information. But we're looking at ways that we can pool our resources and having people to send me their email, just email me something and then I'll send you back my email address. I'll be able to send you back some information as we put this whole process together, because we're talking about doing another hip-hop summit and have conversations in the community of this huge event and come up with some strategy. Because we can talk about it forever, but we need to come up with a strategy to sort of do something about the issues. And that's what the conversations in hip-hop are supposed to lead to, some conclusions and some remedies.
Yeah, but, long as we got this strategy, long as they got that strategy to keep the black person down, it's going to be hard for people to take care of their kids in the correct household. It's going to be hard. It
won't be easy. It won't be easy, but it can certainly be done.
You know what I'm saying? Because now if you look at it, our women is degrading themselves. We come from women. They degrading themselves. How would you feel if you've been in slavery for all these years and people still biting back at each other for money?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You really should be amazed. You know what I'm saying? How you see a black beautiful woman, she got to degrade herself, and then she don't always be shaking her butt for the black guys. You know what I'm saying? She shake her butt for anybody. Once she in it, she in it. She don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Money talks. So it's stuff is pain buried deep down inside.
It is. It is.
And it's just pain buried deep down inside of us that even if that's not my sister, that's somebody else's sister that's doing that. That could be my sister.
And we should care. Sure.
Yeah, we should care, but see, we do care psychologically. That's why it's bedded. It's bedded. Now you got to learn how. Now you got to try to take all that pain and turn it to the strength, turn it to something positive.
Well, one of the things I do I do seminars and workshops, and it addresses the effects of slavery and the rage and the disappointment and the sadness that we carry as a people. And so one of the things that happens in these workshops, and I'm going to do one for people rappers, but what happens is people have an opportunity to get in touch with all of this pain and rage that they live with, and unfortunately, people are out there making records, cutting these making all this music and getting this money, but they're still wounded. And the unfortunate thing about that is no matter how much money they make, they'll still be wounded. And they won't be able to do very much good with any of it. So we're going to have to start some healing work. We just have to.
I mean, it's all up to the individual. It's all up to the individual,
True. Some people
don't
want to heal. They're that wounded. They are so wounded they don't want to heal.
What it is? A lot of these rappers that's like that, to me, is because they get so frustrated. They get the first thing they get the first good thing sound coming. And then they get frustrated once they realize the work they got to be put into it. So all that work and all that stress come along, and then actually a person really can't even, really enjoy the good stuff because he realizing all the work that he got to put in. It's a deal that he took. You know what I'm saying? So they never gonna be happy.
That's right. So and that's when you end up with a DMX. That is one of the saddest commentaries I've ever seen, and that's an example of what happens when you have people that are deeply wounded and they don't heal those wounds.
I wish I could speak with him. Basically, because we come from. We ain't come from the same lifestyle, but I noticed guys like him. I had a brother-in-law exactly just like him. But he's supposed to be an icon for. He's an icon for all of us. For all of us, they welcome him in the game. He got to be stronger. Because he knows two sides to the business. His personal business and his music business. You will never mix the two. You know what I'm saying? Because you're supposed to be on the path of showing us different, ways, different walks of life. You know what I'm saying?
But he can't do any of that right now. He's too sick.
DMX, you know what I'm saying? As an artist, and what all he did, what he brought to the game, so to see him, take himself down like that and stoop to that level.
It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
And psychologically, he don't want to say it, but it got a lot to do with attention. You know what I'm saying? It got a lot to do with, like a boxing match. You know what I'm saying? You make that big, that confrontation. You make that big start off. And then all eyes. It's all a game. It's all propaganda. But the
sad thing about it is, this is a broken, drug-addicted man, and no matter how you slice it, that's the story here. And when people so that means that he has
like that, correct?
Huh?
I said, you're right. He started the game correct, but it's like this. The person whoever started him off with it, I mean, we're not responsible for that because they gave him.
Oh no, we're not. We're not. But what's deep is I remember seeing him on a show once, and he talked about what it was like for him when his mother abandoned him, and the pain and the anger and the rage, and how he could never trust. He just can't trust women. He can't trust anyone, and it shows up in his behavior. So if you feel unloved, why would you even be? You wouldn't be concerned about taking care of yourself. You wouldn't love yourself either. If you thought your mother didn't love you, well then, who do you think would?
Man, I don't know what kind of psychological damage that could have did to DMX. All I know is that all the stuff that I've been through in my past, when I was a kid, when I became a grown man, I learned I had to leave all that stuff in the past.
You turned all that around. Yeah.
I mean, what I do now shouldn't affect me in the past. But if a person don't like me for who I am, there's nothing I can do about that. But all that psychological issue that bring him to tears and all that stuff should have been, dealt with since you turned 17, 18.
But it wasn't. It wasn't. And there's really no arena because, post-traumatic slave disorder is a very serious form of mental illness. And there are not a lot of people out here that are qualified to even do it, to treat people with that disorder. I mean, I'm a psychotherapist, and my work is very Africa-centric. That's one of the reasons that I've never had to advertise for clients at all, because of word of mouth, and my work is effective because I can't have a conversation with someone about healing if I don't talk about our past as a people, because that's at the crux of just about everything that we have as problems. So
we learn, we live and we learn. If
yes, we
ever
do.
If we ever
Absolutely.
really just take the time and listen and pay attention to white culture, how the way they do black culture, and we might can learn something.
Yeah, well, I'm real clear about it. I mean, I'm real clear.
From them. If you understand, we learn a lot of stuff from white folks.
Well, see, the big problem
we
too
learn
is
all this pimps and all that. We learn it from them, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and you can unlearn behaviors too. See, the problem is that they control
those
the
behaviors, but I can't sit up here and say that I'm responsible for all those bad behaviors.
You're not, because it wouldn't be true. It would not be true. But what I am saying, though, is that we don't control anything in this society. We are consumers. We don't produce anything. We don't distribute anything. We don't control the educational system. We don't control the media. We don't control the healthcare system. We don't control the penal justice system. It's all controlled by children of the children of the children of slaveholders.
Correct.
And the system is designed to keep us where we are. And until we start re-educating ourselves and our community, it's not going to be done for us by anybody else. So we have to start where we are, working with what we have, one person at a time.
I just say it like this: what we can do is certain cities. I'm gonna give you an example because I'm way in the South, and I know I listen to the radio stations and what was going on up north. They had a lot of these white supremacy, like police officers, training for police duty up north in New York.
And in Connecticut too, because you have the grand champion, the head of the Ku Klux Klan lives in Darien, Connecticut. So they're up here, and they are judges. They're sitting on the bench as judges. I'm telling you.
I'm sitting in the South, and I know what's going on up there because I hear it on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of police officers, they won't be police officers down here because they went to, we was the inner, blacks knew whites, whites knew blacks. But we knew they had it in them, but they won't, patrol around here because, their families and all that will be in danger. So they take a lot of police out and put them in different locations, have them spread it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like if they have more real military police, you know, because I wouldn't want to say, well, why don't the whites patrol the white neighborhood, let the blacks patrol the black neighborhood, because if that happens, a state like Alabama, you know what I'm saying, you might come across some crooked, you know. I shouldn't call it state, but you know, that was back in the days. But you know, you can have, them, over, doing their powers, or they killing somebody they had issues out with in high school, or something crazy. So I just think it should be a mixed interracial type or justice system. That's where we start off first.
Well, we have a mixed justice system now, but the problem comes in when you don't have a mix of people making the decisions about the law.
I'm talking about, I'm saying background.
So the laws are not made. They're not going to let us make any laws.
I'm saying background checks. What I'm saying though is background checks. It's like if they have a good if they got a fair background check, it's nothing we can't do right now, because you still got older folks that may have prejudice in them still relevant right now. So that's one of the reasons.
On both parts, because I still have my prejudices. We all have prejudices.
Excuse me. I'm saying, I'm sorry about saying prejudice. I should say race.
No, but it's true. I mean, don't be sorry. It's a reality. Everybody has prejudices. You see.
Oh, excuse me.
It doesn't mean though that you can't be objective. You can not be neutral and still be objective. You can have an opinion about something and still be objective.
I wanted to make a comment on the brother who was speaking about, us making laws, saying they are not going to let us make laws. The reality is, I live in Buffalo, New York. This is Neil Mack.
Hi, Neil. Hi, it's been a while. I haven't talked to you. How you doing, my brother?
How everybody doing? It's Buffalo King from Riders Block Entertainment. Also got Alexis Honey Dip on the line also.
Alexis is on the line?
Yeah.
Yes,
hey.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Brian?
Great. I'm great. Yeah, we got a few more minutes here. We can have this because the conversation really was started out about missing fathers, for example, in the household, and the type of influence that had on male and female rappers, and how then when you look at the language and you look at the imagery that comes out of rap music, how then, what does that say about the relationship that rappers have with their children and their women or their men? Where would they have learned how to be good parents? Where did they learn how to be loving and affectionate? And if the language that they're using is an indication of how they're feeling, which is full of rage,
Francisco.
How does that get played out in the relationship?
Absolutely.
Hello?
Who's on it? Somebody new just came on. Who came in?
Francisco Rosario.
Francisco, how are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm okay. This is Coach Bonnie, trying to hold it down for the next few minutes we have online.
Hey, what's going on?
Thanks for joining the conversation.
No problem.
So who wants to respond to the question I just asked?
I want to respond to the question. I'm going to respond to the fella's question, his statement, and also to that question. And first of all, as far as the politics saying, they don't let us make laws right now.
I'm on the live chat.
Right.
With the people.
I live in
Hello?
The people. Yeah.
I live in the city of Buffalo. Right now I'm working on the mayoral campaign. I worked on the last mayoral campaign where we elected our first black mayor. I'm also a committee member, which is right under a council member. I've been a committee member since 2002.
You could join it right now.
And we do have black lawmakers. We do have black senators. We do have a black president. We do have black mayors. Okay, we do have people in position that are lawmakers that make these laws, that make laws. We do have positions. We have to stop. We have to stop pointing fingers and saying they. we say they, that's not a specific.
A lot of people.
When we say they, it's talking
that
about
when
the
you go,
people that
you
aren't
go on a different level once you start getting into once you start getting into like politics and all that.
Yeah.
You're gonna take it to a higher level. It's gonna be way beyond a phone call. You understand me? So that's why I try to keep. That's why I try to keep it, like on that kind of level. Because if you want to take it to another level, I know we got some black people that enslave our own kind.
Come in.
Absolutely.
I already know that, and that's because
they're fake. They're dummies. So they drive people away.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying, this coming out our household, not through the politics. You understand?
How you still hear them?
The people is more of us than it is them. So regardless of
you coming in?
We not letting the politics, we not letting the governors, we not letting them control our neighborhood. They already told you that. So it's best for you, if you want the government to stay out your neighborhood, you control. It starts at home. That's all I'm saying.
No, listen. I
know when you going all the, you going deep in it. When you going real deep, we got even hip hop singers and all that just designed to keep us down. But we don't want to, you know what I'm saying? We want to, keep it on, where we know, what it takes and what we have to do to, to change our own situation.
Well, I mean, absolutely right. What I'm saying it because I'm taking initiative. You know what I mean?
All I have to say is, guys, remember me because I'm going to be going to college. Doing college for basketball.
That's my little 16-year-older. Are you still on the line?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for staying on the line. But you know what I think we have to look at too is I'm listening to the brother talk about there are black folk that are lawmakers. But when you really look at the politics of it all, you have to acknowledge that this is not a society that this is a capitalist society, and there are groups of individuals, 10%, who control the wealth, and they have this assigned power because people can only have power if you give it to them, and complacency leads to power on the side of the people on the other side. So no matter what politicians we have and lawmakers we have, if they're black, they're not going to be allowed to be but so effective. Obama cannot make decisions without that Senate. He can't make any independent decisions. And so our political leaders, if you look at every one of them, I don't care how many people on the lower levels of politics we have in our community, it's those senators and those larger lawmakers who play games with those politicians that are really in control. Then when you look at our communities, then you get clear that our politicians are really paper tigers in the sense that they don't exercise their power because they want to be powerful and they can't exercise it unless they do what they're told to do. So we have communities in Buffalo that look like war zones, here in New York, in Atlanta, anywhere you go. And so where are our politicians? They have no power, and the power that they could wield, they're so caught up in wanting to get that to their hands on the money and control that they don't do us any good. As a matter of fact, they make it worse. Because sometimes our young people believe in these people. They say, people thought that we were going to have this miraculous transformation because we got a black president. And I'm saying to myself, we don't really understand. This man can't make any decisions on his own. He really can't.
That's why y'all see him do make decisions. Y'all be like, he contradicting himself with dog. Don't that seem like a puppet? I mean, that seems like the same way. It just seems like you just, and it all designed to keep us psychologically. I think they did us a real great favor because if you don't start learning something, then you have to be fighting just like how the Indians fought back in the day. So I mean, we just have to just start at home, man, and keep the politicians out of our business, man.
Well, it is our responsibility. That's how the conversation started when we first did the first conversation. And my statement was that our elders failed our youth. I mean, we have good reasons. I mean, we understand the politics of how we didn't have the power and all that. But the bottom line is it's our responsibility to develop systems and structures and lay out the lay of the land for our youth. And we didn't do it well enough.
No, and I want to. I don't want to.
When I say we, I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about we as a group.
As a whole. As a whole.
Yeah,
no, we need that for guidance. Listen, we need that for guidance. We don't have a connection with our generations. Okay.
Yes.
Just Monday, we had a meeting. We have an African cultural meeting that we have every Monday. All right, at the Black Library, First Black Library that we have here in Buffalo. Now, this is the first time in about 5 years I sat in a room with 3 generations of African American folks, and we're learning. We were talking about slavery and Willie Lynch letter. But we had 3 generations of people of African Americans, men and women and children, from my daughter, which is 8, my nephew, 8 and 11, to my age group, between 25 and 30. Then you had the elders, 50 and up. Okay, in the same room, learning from each other. All right. And
that's the way it should be.
It should be, and that was the each one teach one.
Yeah,
that was one of the first historical things that I've seen in a long time, and we need that. We miss that. We have that generational gap. Okay, between our small children, the people my age and my generation, and the people in the elder generation. We don't have that communication. That's one of the things we talk about, the generational gap. We don't have that. So even the music, you talking about hip hop is not influenced by the elders because the elders are not there to influence. So whatever's coming out, that's our opinion, and that is the way these people think of the music, and it's their interpretation of life, their interpretation, perception of life.
And that's their role. I mean, that's the artist's role. To tell the story of your culture and your history and interpret what's going on socially. That's the artist's role, and I don't think anyone has an issue with the message as much as they have with the way the message is delivered. Right. For example, I can talk about the police that are in my community. Doing, stop and frisks and doing all the things that they shouldn't do. I can talk about that without using vulgarity.
Exactly.
I can talk about women being out of order without calling them the B word.
Right, or calling them.
They always tell me, no such thing. How can you be an artist and can't relate to the people that's listening to your music, that's gonna buy your music? But you got to relate to people that's not gonna buy your music and really not supporting you from the get-go. So,
well, I don't think that's the way it works. I don't think it will work like that.
Pop is our culture. It's not the white man's culture. It's not the elderly culture. It's not their culture. It's our culture. Whatever they had in hip-hop, they passed it down. They're not in hip-hop no more. So it's not their culture. It's not their way of life. So why are they worrying about it? If their kids is not living under the black people, is not living on that type of society, they're learning from the streets. Okay, you got to understand. Why don't you learn how the gang? Find out and remember how the gang started. It was all started for just people just trying to feed themselves and know who is who, to figure who's out. That's how they got to learn their idea of living, idea of playing chess is by just learning the root way, straight down from the bottom. So they had to learn all this stuff, and they had to figure out how to live out on their own, just like a lion got to fend for himself when he out there in the jungle.
Agreed.
So we know different. We know different.
We are different. We are different because I think we are different. Because we have a conscience. Lions don't have conscience.
If you don't realize this right now, we are used to see. We are being monitored.
Yes.
Just as humans, like humans,
that's true.
Humans monitoring animals.
True.
You understand me? Just to see how much and how far other races can learn from us. And what
True.
What they trying to get off learning from us.
Hey brother.
So basically,
but what does that have to do though with our responsibility to our youth and to our elders when it comes to the language we use, when it comes to the opportunities that are presented?
It's not an elder culture. It's straight young adults culture.
Oh,
like I said, when you learn music.
Yo, bro, I don't mean to cut you off or nothing, bro. But listen, that statement right there, you know, and I'm not gonna say you wrong or anything, but you can't say that's not our culture, man. Hip hop been along for generations, bro.
But I'm saying though, once you pass the culture down,
listen, just give me 1 second, brother. The poetry, the hip hop, the beat, the African beat, that drum, okay, that is the heart of hip hop. From Africa, that drum. That's why we use 808s. That's why we use certain tones because that is our culture.
I'm saying
hip hop. Listen, brother. Just 1 second. Feel me out, brother.
Black culture.
Listen, feel me out, because I'm not even black. I'm not black. Okay, I'm talking. I'm not a black man.
Well, I'm just saying.
Listen to me,
our
brother.
culture as black.
Bro,
I'm just saying, whether you black
bro,
listen
to me
black.
for a second. Let me listen to me for a second, right? Music in general is a universal language. In general, okay? Music is to bring people together, not to separate people.
Correct.
Okay? Hip hop is one of the most influential genres of music that ever touched the earth. Hip hop is in every part of the earth right now. Australia, China, and Africa, and Japan, and Mexico. All different people picking up hip hop because it's a universal language. It's not just for us. Okay? We're reaching out. Let's build them. That's bringing people together all over this world. It's bringing whites and blacks together. It's bringing Chinese people together. It's bringing Asian people together. It's bringing people with disabilities together. Hip-hop is a universal language. And if you write something down that's premeditated, when you write a song that's premeditated, and all you do with your premeditation is talk nonsense, talk about beat, I'm doing this from these angles. Okay, I feel that you're wrong because it's premeditated thought before you go in the studio and put that down. You got time to think about what you're saying. You got time to think about your message and your perception.
You got to listen to Scarface, man. Scarface said it all, man. It was our culture, and then when the white folks got in there, they started making Fruity Loops, and they started making beat machines, and they started making things where every culture can adapt. Every race can adapt to. That's why it is our culture. It's stuff it's shit we created. We created rap as black. So ain't nobody.
But excuse me, brothers. Excuse me. Let me just say this. But the conversation that we're trying to do with the conversations is see what kind of remedies and solutions we can come up with for the issues that we identify that we think we need to work on in our communities. What is it that we can do as individuals? For example, is there something that we think we can do as individuals?
Like I said, gangs, all that. When people went through things in life, things that they did, all they did was put it on. All they did was just instead of holding all that stuff inside, they just put on the record. You know, it didn't really start off first like that. But
we're agreeing. But what we're saying tonight is, what can we do to make some changes in those areas that we think we need to change?
Because Coach Bonnie, can I say one thing? Okay,
yes, sir.
If you listen to what I was saying, brother, and everybody that's listening, all I'm saying is one of the things that we can do collectively, all of us, and that's not just black people or whatever, whoever is recording.
You cool with me, man. You know what I'm saying? You cool with me?
Oh, no problem, man. It's equal.
You're in the family.
It's all about money. We're building right now, brother. I mean, my aggressive tone, this is my aggressive tone. We building right now. It's nothing but peace right here. But what I'm saying is hip-hop, music in general, and when we talking about hip-hop, it's premeditated. Before you go into the studio and record something, before you turn on a video to make a video, before you write a storyboard, you have the choice, okay, to look over what you're saying and look over what the words that you're using, what angle, what perception that you're about to bring out before you put that song out. And you mentioned Scarface. Scarface, look, his Scarface representing. He wasn't representing the scar on his face. He was representing the kingpin Scarface when he started rapping. I love Scarface as a hip hop artist.
I mean,
but at the same time, listen, sir,
I really don't care what he was representing.
We talking about the solution. I'm not trying to get deep into Scarface, but I'm using that as an example, as a solution. We have a choice before we put out music, before we say anything, open our mouths, just like with this conversation. We have a choice about what we're going to put out, what message we're going to put out, what spirit we're going to put out. To me,
I agree with that.
That we can have and make sure before we put something out, we have a conscious attitude what we're going to put out. Because our kids going to hear this, grandmothers, aunts, uncles, white people, black, Chinese, all people all over the world.
Hey, man,
so
I'm going to
say
say
like a choice before you put a record out.
Nobody can tell nobody how to make their music. Nobody can tell nobody how to, because you can't go out there and tell a politic, hey, man, I want you to pass this law. I want you to pass that law. Once it's like that, then there's always going to be everybody having their own opinion. It's going to feel like they're going to say what they want to say. But it's not like a person that's trying to get an endorsement deal for Rick Ross, like Rick Ross, for Reebok and all, getting all these endorsement deals, but then you got a bad image on the kids. That's a different story. We need to talk about endorsement deals and having image on the kids, not rap music. See, when they mixed up putting all these endorsement deals inside and with rap music, that's where the problem starts at.
Well, what do you think the rap artist's responsibility is to the community? Whether the community is Chinese, Native American, black, or white?
Rappers don't have no more influence on the community than the community.
No, I'm not talking about influence. No. I'm not asking about influence. I'm saying, what do you think the responsibility is of the rap artist to the community?
Rick Ross actually got dropped by Reebok because of his choice of lyrics. Actually.
I know he did. Because Reebok is not going to have anybody on their staff that's not going to make money for them. Exactly. So when they realized that we were raising hell about what he said, and we were demanding that he be dropped, they dropped him like a burning match.
Exactly.
Absolutely. It wasn't there controversy about.
They understand the power of the dollar.
Rick Ross, anybody could complain on Rick Ross and they would have dropped him quick. You understand me?
But we did complain, and that's why they dropped him.
Other race like that.
But Rick Ross was dropped.
Other race like that. We
what?
We as ourselves, we as ourselves killing our own self. We as ourselves telling on our own self. But we ain't got no.
You can't say that as a people as a whole. The whole purpose of this conversation, we are the part of our people that is trying to uplift and build up each other. So I can't agree with that when you say we killing ourselves. Not all of us are. Some of us are trying to help ourselves and other people at the same time. Music at the end of the day is still a language, and you have to really realize what you're saying to other people. It's still a language. It's just a certain type of it.
Ice-T should have been concerned about all the lyrics he said. He was the first person that came and made a CD. Then every 5 minutes you hear whole bitches, Ice-T. Nobody had to say anything about Ice-T.
Yes, they did.
Woo!
But
that part.
But they did. And Ice-T got in trouble with not only black people, but he got in trouble with the law behind his language.
Exactly.
Because they were not going to allow him to use the language he used and with impunity. And I'm saying, do we allow the language to be used with impunity?
He's saying that like if anybody else found out. Hello?
I think he got better since then, though.
So, what do you guys think about Kobe? You guys think he's coming back next year?
So he can be in the industry still. So he changed all that image. You're not going to hear Ice-T come out with another one of the records because he changed his image. He's doing business now.
It's all about...
But I'm saying, though,
he wanted to make money long. He wanted
to
guys, there's some guy smoking crack in his car, bumping to some retarded music.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the time, and I'm trying to stay up with the time too. It's now 9:33, unfortunately.
I was wondering if my man was there.
But as soon as the conversation gets really hot and good, it's time to go.
Absolutely, Coach.
But will you all show up next week, maybe?
Oh, hold on. Can I say something, please? Can I give a shout out?
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Could everybody wish me good luck with the college and everything for basketball? Because I'm only 16, getting recruited.
Good luck, man. I heard about you, man. Good luck, man. I hope you do your thing. Stay focused, man. Stay away from them girls, man. Don't get nobody pregnant.
All right.
Thank you so
is
much
this the
for
guy from
joining
Buffalo?
our conversation tonight.
Yo, I might be coming down there for the tournament.
Yeah, I know you. I got you in the tournament, man. Come down. I got you in the Gus Mack. I got you in 2 tournaments, man. And I got you.
Yeah. My parents said yes, so Andy just got to come up and pick me up, and I'll be good.
All right, cool. I'll see you when you get down here, man. God bless you, bro.
All right, thanks.
All right, so good night, you all. I'm not going to be on the show on the call next week because I have a conference to do. But I'll see you. I'll be on the week after then. But the conversation will still go on next week. So please show up.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Good
Coach
night.
Bonnie, we love you. Hotel.
Good night.
Thank you.
Yo, peace, yo. Thanks for giving me a shout out.
God bless.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
Yeah, thanks for that. Yo, thanks for.
I want to thank everybody for participating in the International Underground Entertainment Magazine, Ugmagonline. I'm Andre. Remember, this conversation was by the people and it's for the people. So take all the seeds that were dropped on this barren land and see whether we could grow some fruit. Peace.